Now you gotta understand, no fucking team outside the Nets and the Lakers has a fucking chance of making it to the NBA Finals. Write that fucking shit down, man. Because all of your super team haters are full of fucking garbage. I mean, you didn't hate on Kevin Durant at all. In fact, you watched Kevin Durant when he literally was part of a participation trophy generation. He wins two of the least earned rings in the history of fucking basketball. 2017 Warriors Cavs was the highest finals rating since Michael Jordan's sixth ring in 1998. I mean, people just wanted to see Durant against James. You bought the Kevin Durant, LeBron James into the ratings. I mean, here, let's be fucking real. This brings in the most goddamn ratings. The pandemic was driving people away from the Lakers and the Heat, not LeBron himself. Of course, finals ratings are going to increase. Of course, playoffs ratings are going to increase when LeBron is out of the playoffs. The ratings increases by round because people think the first round is boring. Ratings get better when the parity is much closer. That the overall series are not predictable in that regard. That's why the finals ratings increase. It's because, of course, people don't watch the first round. But you're forgetting that people are stressing about jobs and putting food on the table. They don't have time for this fucking shit. They don't have time for the fucking finals. They don't give a damn about the championship when they're under real and much more stress. Without a pandemic and without their job and their livelihood being on the fucking line. I mean, don't you fucking think about these people? I mean, excuse me. I think the fact that people are not stressing out as much is a factor for these ratings increases. But despite the fact that the ratings increased versus 2020, it's still the lowest ratings ever since the three finals prior to the pandemic. That is the whole rationale behind that. But overall, the Suns Bucks series still drew fewer viewers than the previous three NBA finals played before the pandemic. So people are not interested in this fucking bullshit. Despite what your people say, this is all about making money for the NBA. The greedy Zionist owners want the Brooklyn Nets Lakers series. They already see how it impacts the finals ratings. People are not watching into this shit when you compare the rating numbers pre-pandemic. When we saw the Warriors against the Cavs and the Warriors against the Raptors. 9.9 million more viewers compared to 2020. People like the super teams. The LA Lakers. It's got gematria of 99, the Lakers. Not the LA Lakers, but the Lakers themselves. People like super teams. You gotta wake the fucking hell up. You gotta get past the rhetoric sometimes. You gotta get past the politics of what people say. I mean, the Bucks won their first championship in 50 years. I can see the Bucks losing to the Nets next year in the conference semifinals after five straight consecutive playoff series wins for the Milwaukee Bucks. That's already what I'm predicting right now. There is an odd year. Today was the odd year. It really was last year. People did not predict who could win the NBA championship when the shortest offseason NBA history took a big advantage for the script writers that teams were getting hurt that would impact the Lakers and the Nets in a really big way. And I think they had their Greek god win the championship in this particular moment. But in regards to what you're wondering about, Jason Whitlock is a sellout. He sells out to white America and dividing and conquering white America against black America. Starts sticking up for white people, Jason Whitlock. I mean, I'm not lying at all. And I say that the NBA is a white supremacist league when the Celtics, with a reputation of playing white players as the most championships, is going LeBron going to change that? I believe he can change that. White supremacy would be the reason why LeBron doesn't win if they love the Celtics that much. That's my opinion about that. But I believe in the points that I make when you're breaking down NBA Finals ratings. This means that the Brooklyn Nets like us going to take up. The NBA knows what makes them the most money. When you think about money, money has so much. You have 72 and 27 dynasty. The Bulls, Michael Jordan's mass marketing helped the NBA, almost destroyed it before Shaq and before Kobe. When Michael Jordan retired, you overhype a player to market the NBA. So you gotta understand what you're talking about. Jason Whitlock is making excuses against Serena, against LeBron, against social justice matters. I wonder what Jason Whitlock thinks about Black Lives Matter. If he's not some deranged lunatic right winger, I mean that's a bad thing. You gotta agree with me on that. Uncle Ruckus, I agree. I agree with the references with Uncle Ruckus. You gotta believe in fact and reason, and that is where Gematria can explain this series and hyping Giannis. I mean, we're still living in the pandemic. NBA is gonna go take some some easy storylines when you're losing money either way. That's where the Heat and LeBron's old team come into play. This is when the Suns against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar #2. I mean, a riddle with a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron break his record. And is Giannis going to join the Lakers someday to replace LeBron James? It's certainly possible. You got to take note of the Giannis angle with that. But it's pretty clear. Now, as far as social justice goes, I gotta tell my black mates out there that there are some bleeding heart liberals out there that will say you gotta go with Team Democrat over the Republicans any day of the week. But my biggest qualm is that Cinema and Manchin have proven that the Democrats are like the Republicans in almost every single way in regards to the minimum wage, in Medicare for all, and climate change. This is the real truth. I want to make that clear with my base. I'm against what the Republicans are doing, but then again, the Democrats are not doing anything. And it shows how corrupted our political process ever came between the Buckley versus Vallejo Supreme Court decision. And I am extremely concerned, and I believe that we need a bold, progressive leadership, not this fucking squad that is just gonna be beholden to what Pelosi and what Schumer and what the Democratic establishment was. I mean, because they put Kamala in there and she defended Donald Trump. I'm still not happy about that. We do not need that at all. I mean, god damn it. Joe Biden, you need to raise the minimum wage to be a real hero of the people. To be like Jesus Christ. But you're not Jesus Christ, my friend. You're a seller. And so is Jason Whitlock and his hate for LeBron James and his apologies for the oppressions of white people throughout the centuries. Now, I hold a lot of pride in that the Italian people were city-states, and they did not invade Africa for all of those years, like the Dutch predominantly. You know super teams are the real deal. I'm telling you how the NBA is trying to make as much money as they can. And this is evidence that they're on their way to succeeding with their goals. I believe the NBA will. I think Kevin Durant's a well-paid sellout, and I think he made them be all the possible money that they could. So I think Durant's a good seller. I mean, let's keep it real. I will do that. How about that? I study the area
Your
codes
purchase
of
could be
New York and LA. But the faggots don't know about that, but New York is 212 and LA is 213. If you're a real person about truth, this is what you care about. You combine reality and real basic facts that you acknowledge and you tie it in with the numerology. This is where you start to reveal a lot of truth. That the truth of the world is explained by the numerology and the gematria of it. So if the Bucks and the Suns is not attracting the finals ratings, and the Warriors, Cavaliers, and record-breaking ratings, and Kevin Durant was there before they bored the fans too much in 2018, then this is good news for the NBA and what they want for the next season.